Hello again, friends. Welcome to week 8 of How Not to Diet Book Club. This week we read pages 211 through 240. Dr. Greger talked about 3 more ingredients for an outstanding weight loss program. That would be foods that are low in salt, foods that have a slow insulin release, and foods that are friendly to our microbiome. The reading this week answered questions that I have had for decades. How could this body get to over 400 pounds when my brothers and my friends were not eating less food than me? We ate about the same amount of food, but why was my body continually gaining weight? The reading really answered a lot of questions for me. For one thing, salt is addictive. And so foods that have a lot of salt are going to increase body fat. They are going to cause us to retain water. Salt causes a shift in body composition so that we have less lean body mass and more fat mass. Now, muscle burns more fat than anything else in our body. So we want more lean body mass. Salt causes us to lose that. Salt also increases the production of the hunger hormone ghrelin so that we are hungrier and eat more and gain more weight. We want to eat less salt and develop less fat stores. Now, in adults, the number one culprit for salt is bread, and it's hidden in the bread. You don't even taste it. For children, I thought it would have been pizza or French fries. No, it's chicken. Companies inject salt into the chicken to soften the fibers, and I know Costco soaks their chickens in brine before they rotisserie them. So chicken is a hidden source of a lot of salt in people's diets. The next thing that Dr. Greger talked about was eating foods that keep your insulin on an even keel instead of eating foods that make your insulin spike. Now, when we eat food, the starches that we eat in our digestive system are turned into simple sugars. The proteins that we eat are turned into amino acids, and the fats are turned into fatty acids. But they have to have a carrier to get them into the cells, and that carrier is insulin. I like to think of it as little tiny UPS trucks that take packages of, oh, here's some sugar for your muscles. Take a package of amino acids to your cells. This is some amino acid for you to build new proteins. And here's a package of fat stores. Oh, you don't need any more fat. We'll just take that to storage and to a warehouse and put it on your hips or your thighs, or unfortunately onto your vital organs like your heart and your liver. Fat clogs the receptors for insulin so that the insulin can't get into the cell and give us what we need. It gums up the works. So I think of our little cells crying, I didn't get any food because the fat was clogging the locks. And the brain hears those cries and says, oh, I'll send more insulin. No, I don't need more insulin. But that insulin goes traveling through our blood system. And since we already have clogged cell receptors, that extra insulin gets stored in fat, and diabetes is created, and all kinds of problems in the system. So we want to eat foods that reduce the insulin spikes, and we want to improve that insulin sensitivity through exercise, resistance training, as well as aerobic exercise. We want to lose weight. We want to get rid of as much fat as we can, and we especially want to stay away from saturated fats from animal products because they really clog up the works, the arteries, the everything, and clog those locks on on the clog, I guess it's locks, clog the receptors, the insulin receptors on our cells. We want to eat low fat in general because avocados still have fat and nuts still have fat. We want to limit the nuts to 1 ounce a day because we do need fats for our body, just not much. The next thing that Dr. Greger talked about was eating foods that absorb slowly in our bodies, not foods that are refined foods that are absorbed quickly and yank those insulin levels up. Quick absorbing foods mean quick fat production. You don't want that. So in order to slow down the absorption of food, we need to have foods that are high in fiber, like whole intact grains of all kinds. We want to avoid meats because those cause rapid insulin production. As much meats cause as high of spikes as table sugar. So we don't want those insulin spikes. We want to eat legumes, beans, peas, chickpeas, lentils. They have more fiber, take longer to eat, keep us satisfied and full longer, and help to balance the insulin in our bodies. We want to avoid eggs, fish, and poultry because it's not just red meat that causes those insulin spikes, it's all of those animal proteins. Now, on to the microbiome. The gut microbiome has trillions of bacteria in there. I don't know about you, but growing up, when I heard bacteria, I thought, no, that means infections. That means all kinds of bad stuff. They had such a negative connotation. I didn't realize that we had trillions of good bacteria in our gut that boost our immune system. Good bacteria, the good bugs, balance our hormones. They improve digestion. They make vitamins in there. So we want to feed those fiber because fiber is what they eat and thrive on and grow. Now, antibiotics kill not only the bad bugs that make us sick and give us infections, but they kill all the bacteria. It takes a year to repair the damage done by 1 round of antibiotics. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was a baby, I had pneumonia. So as an infant, I started on antibiotics. And then every summer, my family would go to the lake or to city pool, and I would get ear infections every year because I don't have much wax in my ear. Anyway, antibiotics every summer. And I wondered why I was putting on large amounts of weight every summer, sometimes 20 pounds a summer. Antibiotics cause fat storage. As a matter of fact, agribusiness and large-scale farmers have been fattening their animals with antibiotics and probiotics for years. They fatten animals with antibiotics. No wonder I was getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And as an adult, I had sinus infections because I ignored the milk allergy that I had, and I would develop sometimes 4 sinus infections every year. And because I had become antibiotic resistant, then I would often have to have 2 rounds of antibiotics just to clear that up. So gain weight, gain fat, gain weight, gain fat. No wonder I got to over 400 pounds. The prescription for morbid obesity is more antibiotics more often. It could make me angry, but I am so grateful for a whole plant food diet and learning what we're learning in this wonderful book to know that I can reverse morbid obesity. I've lost over 200 pounds. I still have a ways to go, so I still have hope that I can lose weight. eating a whole plant food diet has reversed my high blood pressure, reversed my diabetes, reversed many, many things, and can reverse my fatty liver disease that I just found out that I had. So I am grateful to understand why I was able to put on 400 pounds when the people around me weren't, because I was having too much salt in my system. I was eating foods that were refined. We ate a lot of packaged foods. My mom did not like to cook, so anyway, I love her. And I was killing off the good bacteria with all of the antibiotics that I had, and I was gaining weight and putting on fat on a regular basis. And of course, as I gained weight, then I became more sluggish and didn't want to exercise, so that vicious cycle played into the mix too. The good gut bugs feed on fiber. They feast on fiber. So I want to continue in my reading to learn how to create bacterial richness in my gut microbiome by eating a variety of whole grains, a variety of legumes, a variety of vegetables of bright, beautiful colors, and a variety of fruits, and nuts and seeds in a limited quantity. I've improved the quality of my life and want to continue improving. I know you do too. As we read this and apply the information we've got to this great experiment of healthy, vibrant living, I'd encourage you to keep some measurements. Last week I took my measurements, and then this week I took them again, and I didn't think anything much was going to happen, but I found that I'd lost 2 inches off my hips, 2 off my waist, and 1 off my chest. This works. Eating whole plant food is delicious, and it works in weight loss. So let's just keep on keeping on. And I wish you great luck, and thank you again for being on this journey with me, because the support is so crucial. And remember, you matter. So never give up. I'll see you next week. Bye.